When Esther first met Abraham, she said something along the lines, I, Esther, seeing called to me those beings who seek
It was an affirmation that was given to her. I, Esther Hicks, see and draw to me those beings, meaning you, who will enhance our enlightenment. She knew that it would be those like you, because one person doesn't have enough questions, doesn't have enough life experience. Esther knew that she would be in the receiving mode, that you would come as step 1 and Abraham would stand as step 2 and Esther would stand in step 3, and together we would come to new awarenesses and new conclusions. And that's certainly the case. It's a worldwide understanding now. Everyone is understanding to some degree that they create their own reality. Esther loves watching car commercials because they seem to know what Abraham teaches. In other words, she keeps hearing the words over and over again in so much advertising and so much movies and so many things of that nature. You are getting it. You are getting it. But the only question is, are you having a good time? And if the answer is not that much, then we say, lighten up and have more fun, because there's nothing serious going on here. Yes, you are creating your own problems to overcome them, but stop it.
So in that case, when we say we see and draw to me those beings, are they physical beings, or are we actually looking at the source in each?
Some of both. Those beings who seek enlightenment through my process. Those beings who seek enlightenment through my process. It's the way it is. You get tuned in, and then if you're selling real estate, those who seek value through your process are there. If you're a creator of food, then those who seek value through your process are there. This is a world where you are all here to enhance the experience of one another. And you can't cross vibrational frequencies. So what you're getting is what you're offering 100% of the time. So if you don't like the crowd that's showing up in your experience, you want some clarifying of your own vibration to do, because they're just evidence of how you feel, you see.
So we're not actually drawing to us physical beings, we're drawing their source, their energy, their transcendental, their everlasting.
Depends
energy.
on where you are vibrationally, of course, but when you get tuned into your inner being, now you have vibrational access to the inner beings of others. And so what you're wanting to do is help them to close the gap by holding them as your object of attention from the point of view that their inner being has. When you're tuned in and you focus on anyone, whether they're across the world in another country or whether there's someone sitting across the table from you, when you hold them as your object of attention, your inner being and their inner being are at one with you. And so that's what upliftment is. You have the potential of holding that vibrational frequency, which makes it more probable than ever before that they might, at least for a moment, achieve some alignment with who they really are. That's why they feel good around you. That's why they want to be with you. But if there's too wide of a gap, if they've got too big of a gap between what they're usually doing and their own inner being, then you syncing up with their inner being and your inner being, you're going to annoy the life out of them. They're not going to want to have anything to do with you. You're going to seem far too intense to them, or far too happy. That guy's just too happy. Just too happy for me. Too much well-being going on there. He needs to focus in the real world and figure out what's really going on. You'll be going like this. But if it's someone you really care about and you continue to hold them as your object of attention, and that could be anyone, it could be those strangers on the other side of the world, and you find a way to focus and feel good and focus and feel good so that you are in sync with them and all of their inner beings, now you have the opportunity to be like a satellite dish that is beaming down the ideas. You may be the receiver of the idea. You may be the receiver of the idea, hear this, to the solution to their plight. And now you're not just the receiver of the idea, you are the vibrational transmitter of the idea. There is much greater likelihood, since thoughts are in the air, that someone will receive that transmission and act on it. Maybe even one of them, you see. Uplifting is the biggest business going, you see. You must uplift. It's who you are. It's who you were born to be, you see. And we're not talking about action. We're talking about the vibrational version of it, and then you following any inspiration that comes to you. That's what life is, you see. Oh, you have enough in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. And when you start tapping into it and you start letting the inspiration flow, the dollars flow, the ideas flow, the relationships flow, life is so sweet. It's who you are. It's what you came for. It's the way it's supposed to be.
So when we get connected to Source, Abraham, I know whenever Esther got connected to Source, you were able to work through her. So when we get connected to Source, each one of us, we will have our
Not
own.
when, since, because you all are to varying degrees for varying length of times. Every one of you is an extension of source energy, and every one of you has these moments of alignment. When you first wake up in the morning, that's your greatest opportunity, because the momentum is at its slowest, to focus in a way that you come into alignment with who you are. But don't make work of this. Don't make hard rituals of this. Just take away from this conversation these few ideas. You are pure positive energy. You are good beyond anyone's description to even define you. Life is supposed to be good for you, and you have source energy flowing to you and through you. Just try a little bit to hear it. Just try a little bit to hear it, which means get as happy as you can get from where you are. You're not going to jump from depression all the way into happiness. You're just not. Law of attraction won't let you. But if you reach for the best feeling thought that you can find, and then the best, and then the best, you will gradually sort of wean yourself from those habits of thought that aren't serving you, and you will discover more and more thoughts that are, until you will have a more consistent feeling of well-being, until you will wake up in the morning and you will lie in your bed and you will think, oh man, here I go again. Another magnificent opportunity to be here and have experiences here in this extremely focused, extremely important, extremely potential for happiness environment. This is the leading edge of thought, and creators want to be on the leading edge. You don't want to regurgitate the old stuff. Do you ever try to show your old technology to your kids? Oh, I'd like to show you what I used when I was a kid. They just want to laugh and run screaming into the woods. They don't want to learn what you were doing. They don't even want what is. They want the new technology now. Apple knows that. And you do too. You want the newest. You want the newest leading edge, because nothing else will do. You don't want to be where thoughts have been. You want to be where thoughts are going. You don't want to be what's old news. You want to be what's new news. And do you know that everything that is manifested, everything that is manifested is old news. If it's manifested, it's old news, because the new stuff's out here in the new vibration. And that's where you want to be. That's where you have to be as a creator, you see. So you're not ever going to be happy unless you're going with the flow of your own ideas. And the satisfaction, the reward, the bonus of that, the bonus of being zen enough, being chilled enough, being kind enough to yourself enough, being relaxed enough that you can actually receive an idea that, as far as you can think, you've never had before in all of your life, and neither has anyone else. Here's this new idea. Life-giving. Esther was standing in a balcony of a new home that she has, overlooking and thinking, and got an idea, and she was panting with excitement. And someone else in the room said, "Are you okay?" Esther said, "I'm just really excited about something." She was panting with excitement. And then she went outside in that frame of mind, and the men who were putting some heat tape on the roof, it's a very big, tall roof, they were in a cherry picker way, way, way up high. And Esther said, "Can I ride in that?" And they said, "Really?" And Esther said, "Yeah, can I get in?" And they said, "Yes." Took them a little while because they had to sort of move it back. They're guiding it from in the basket, and they were 80 feet up. And so they maneuvered it, and it was kind of wrapped around a chimney, and they brought it back around and straightened it up and brought it down and straightened it up and brought it down and straightened it up and brought it down and laid it basket right down on the ground. And Esther just stepped in with them. And then up they went. Esther could see everything. She could see the top of her own roof. She could look down into her chimney. She could see across the way. She could see every neighbor. She could see out into the distance. She could see the lake and the sky. She could see things that she had not ever seen before. Well, it was no coincidence that her panting alignment with source energy would lead to the next logical step of getting a real life manifestation that matched that feeling. You see what we're getting at? Life can deliver to you anything that you have the ability to feel. If you can trust that your vortex is there and that we're feeling it, we know what you asked for, and we know every amendment that you made to it, and we know how sweet your life is supposed to be in real life, what you call manifestational form, because we've seen the vortex version of it. And when you start trusting that the vortex version is a reality, vibrational reality, we know you say, "How do I get it out of the vibrational vortex and into the bank, Abraham?" Well, this is how. This is how. You trust that it's there, you know that it's there, and you reach for the feeling of it, and you feel the inspiration of it, and you follow the impulse when it comes, which is the next thing that we really want to say to you, because you're right there so often. When an impulse comes, don't procrastinate it. When the impulse comes, it means it's ripe for this moment. When the impulse comes, act on it. Write the note, make the phone call, go there, do there. Whatever that impulse is, follow through with it with action, because that's your guidance system saying, coast is clear, go for it. Go for it. Go find the pleasure of this moment that is all queued up for you, by you, and with us. That's how we feel about your life experience.
Thank you. Thank you, Abraham. I have love for everyone. I have love for all beings, spiritual and not. I just want to tell you as well, I love you.
Yeah, it's clear to us. It's clear to them, isn't it? Yeah. Humans do not often start with the premise that well-being is the basis of your life experience. You've already sort of heard from others who have forgotten that. And so it's easy for humans to start with the premise that things are going to go wrong unless I wrestle them to the ground and kill them. When the reality of it's the other way. Things are going to go well unless you do that thing that you do that blocks it off. And yes, there's non-physical intention. Sometimes you come with intentions of what others want to call diversity because you see it as your opportunity for clarity and strength. It's something that you want in this physical life experience. That's why it's so important that you mind your own business and not try to figure out what everybody or anybody else is doing about that.
So then in a sense where they say the diabetes, heart disease is predetermined, like genetically, you don't have to accept that?
Not only do you not have to accept that, it's foolishness to accept that. We are not wanting to discourage you about the state of your medicine, especially in your environment, but they are still practicing it. The human body is such a mystery, and it's because they have not yet hit upon the vibrational component that is everything, you see. They're starting to dabble in it a little bit. They know that the optimistic patient often overcomes while the pessimistic one does not. But you have to factor everything in. You don't know whether somebody's ready to make their transition. You don't know if it's their path of least resistance. And so they're just collecting data and then trying to connect the dots in between. And what we're wanting you to hear is that your life causes you to ask for what you want. And if you line up, you will get what you want. No exceptions every single time. No exceptions every single time. No exceptions every single time. There is nothing that has been pre-decided for you or even by you that could trump what you are now deciding from where you now are. People say, well, isn't it my path? Don't I have a destiny? Isn't there predestiny? Isn't there something that's already been decided? Yeah, you decided to come here and be the deliberate creator of your own experience. You came here to mix it up and to choose and decide and define. You came here to launch rockets, and you came here to use your guidance, and you came here to use the benefit of source energy, to come into alignment with anything and everything that you want. You came here to be the manifester, the full realizer of anything that your mind could conceive. Napoleon Hill said it. If the mind of man can conceive it, then this time-space reality has the ability to give it to you in full achievement. We use different words, but that was basically what he said. If you can want it, you can have it. But there's a piece that has to go in there. You have to want it and believe it. And a lot of times, you have developed beliefs before you even knew about beliefs, before you even knew about vibration. And so now you have some thinking to do. Now you have some thinking and feeling to do. Now you have some restructuring of your thoughts to do. But don't try to think thoughts, because law of attraction is delivering your thoughts. Instead, care about how you feel. Let the way that you want to feel be what inspires the next thought that comes. I want to feel sure. I want to feel empowered. I want to know my value. I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. I want to feel flexible. I want to feel alignment. I want to feel good. I want to be of value, but I want to feel good. I want to tune into the energy that is really who I am. I want to be an extension of source energy. I want to do my human part of sifting through the data, and I want to launch those rockets of desire, and then I want to ride that rocket with my source to the full manifested fruition that we all revel in. I love being here out on this leading edge of thought where things manifest. I love being the creator. I am not an acceptor of what is. I'm a molder and modifier and improver and evolver of what is. I use my powerful mind and the powerful mind of source to go into places that have not been before. Why? For the thrill and the adventure and the satisfaction of that eternal motion forward. Oh, we're glad you're here. We're glad that you're here on the leading edge. We're glad you're mixing it up. We're glad.